Welcome back to the We Get to Do This podcast. I'm Kailee.
And I'm Jacob. This is the show for anyone chasing something hard, where we turn I have to into we get to.
With real, relatable, and resourceful conversations on business, training, recovery, wellness, and mindset. Let's get into it.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to part B of some more inside a run coaching call with yours truly and his coach, Jacob and Matt. So part 2, check in with my coach, Matt Welch, and we might be the most candid and unfiltered I've ever been on here, from talking about me trying to get into my Strava account to Matt dropping a wild 17-mile, very casual run that was really fast. But then I go into the last 8 weeks of my life. We go over the bachelor party, wedding, honeymoon, my friend's bachelor party, his wedding, grandma's marathon, kind of just catch everyone up into what's going on with my life and how it's affecting training. We also get into a little bit of my perspective of grandma's marathon, which I thought was fun, and dive into fueling, caffeine strategy. We went through a lot. We also then shifted to Chisago 70.3 Tri and dove deeper into that and gave some training specifics, what we're going to look at doing, all that kind of stuff. And we're currently like 10 days out when I'm recording this, and this is coming out right before Chisago Lakes Tri. So it's kind of perfect timing to see how the training kind of went. It's candid, a little chaotic, lots of good stuff. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into part 2, y'all.
Caption right now. It'll take 2 seconds. Which Chuckanut foot race victory plus long run.
I'm gonna go look at it while you're writing your caption. I think that's a great idea. I think that's the perfect way to start this podcast. Morning run. Here I'll even pull it up on my computer because everyone wants to see what Matt ran this morning. Strava. Go to it, log in, share my screen.
That's right.
For those following along right now, you can also be on Strava, the number one fitness app, the world's number one.
Yeah.
Over 135 million people today. 135 million people on Strava. That's pretty wild.
That's super impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That's really, really impressive. Okay, let's look at some metrics. Got it uploaded. All right, not bad. It's pretty chill. Are we looking at some of your emails on the pod?
Yeah. We were. What is this?
What is this? You're creating a profile?
This is why I just use it on my phone. This is why I never even try to go on Strava. And then the problem is now you can't sign out until you create the profile.
Wait,
well,
what?
Yeah, because it's
That's
not linked.
crazy.
It's synced up to my, I think, Facebook or something. Not.
Oh.
You know what I'm
yikes.
saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. I tried, y'all. I tried.
Yeah. You tried. I mean, it wasn't that impressive, but I got 17 miles in this morning. So we're good.
So
Dude, how are you
Matt
doing?
started. I'm doing great, dude. I feel the last 8 weeks of my life have been insane. I'm a little tired, but I feel like, dude, my anxiety is finally down. So I'm feeling hyped about it. So the last 8 weeks, ready for this?
Yeah.
I was at a bachelor trip in Miami. I came home for a weekend. I had my bachelor party. I got married. And then we went on our honeymoon. We came home for a weekend. Then we went to grandma's and did the marathon. And then I was in my buddy's wedding this past weekend. And I gave a speech on Friday night. So that was a huge, anxiety provoking thing. So now I'm like, man, no more speaking in front of people for a little while. No more like vows, no more, all that's like all the stuff that was, speaking on behalf of my best friends, all that stuff that was provoking so much anxiety.
Yeah.
It's gone.
You're free.
It's gone. I'm free.
You're free.
But it was a blast. It was all a blast. And I like talking
sure.
in front of people once I'm rolling. So, but man, I'm excited to just get some routine. Cause even with training, dude, I don't know. I feel like I did fine keeping
I
it
mean,
up, but
honestly, I'm so impressed with what you were able to put up despite all of these things. Like you
same,
experienced
actually, looking at
probably
this now.
what you've went through over the last 8 weeks would be like a very busy year for most people, right? Like 8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a super busy year. It's just like
Yeah.
once. In addition
Yeah.
to like running, right? And in addition to like actually maintaining some pretty decent volume. I
Yeah.
applaud you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Um,
But last week, I don't know if my body was fighting just hard all of last week. So I got, I don't know, 50% in maybe 40%. But I was like, if it's a week that's going to happen, it's fine that week after
totally.
grandma's. So we're
Yeah.
just I might still do something today. We're trying to clean up our apartment a little bit still. We have stuff from our wedding still just like sitting out. Like, dude, we haven't been able to do anything. Literally,
I bet.
so I'm like, you know what? I didn't lose fitness, maybe a little, but not that much in the last month. Whatever. Like, we're going to lock in now. July, I don't have any. July is the next 6 weeks are awesome. I don't think I have any like weekend plans besides like, like going to my family on the 4th of July. I get to live,
Really?
I get to
Okay.
live more of a normal life for a little bit.
Hell yes.
Normal life.
Yeah.
Still have stuff going on, but like,
I'm definitely happy to hear that.
you
Yeah.
know,
And I think your body's probably happy to hear that because
my
yeah.
body's very happy to hear that. I'm
Yeah.
also going, I am going to not drink any alcohol for at least July, maybe longer. We'll see. Probably until August.
I imagine you've had a lot between the
I've
bachelor
had the
party,
most,
your wedding.
most alcohol I've had in years in this stretch. But I'm proud of myself because I didn't have any like super bad hangovers. So
Pretty good.
I did like keep it in check enough.
Yeah.
So, but I do have
Same
in August I've got one more bachelor party and I've got a wedding in August and a wedding in September.
dude. Jeez.
But I'm like those ones I'm an usher in one of them. And like it'll be easier. It'll
Are
definitely
they
be
local?
less. No, one's in Winona. So, but we're going to for that one. I'm not in that one, so I have to be there at like 4 on Saturday. We're just attending. So we're gonna drive to Winona, I think, and make a little bit of a run weekend out of it. And then the other one is in Michigan, and I do need to be there for rehearsal on Friday, and then like all day Saturday, but it won't be too bad. We're actually gonna take the camper van up for that one and do some running and take a couple days off, I think, on each side. So it's gonna be different for sure. But and then like the bachelor party, I think what I'll do is hit the long run like maybe Thursday or Wednesday that week or something. So we'll talk when we get there. Yeah. But I'll do
When is the
something like
bachelor
that.
party going to be?
It's like that one is August 13th weekend. And then the weekend August 6th is that Winona wedding. So and then
Wait, what is it?
got,
August?
so August 6th. Yeah, August 6th. The wedding's on August 8th. Sorry. Wedding's on August 8th. And then the bachelor party that one will be a little tougher to get things in the 8:13 to 8:16, but I do plan on running. But it'll be kind of like it'll be a win if I can rip like a 4 to 6 miles every day still kind of. But that's like it's out of Airbnb, and it'll be a little more chill than like Miami.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
that's good.
and then the last wedding is September 12th. So if you want,
And that's the one
down.
in Michigan.
That's the one in Michigan. Yeah. Yeah. And then nothing until TCM. So
heck yeah.
But we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it work. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna make it work. It'll be fine. I'm ready to lock in. So I think July is gonna be a great month to kind of like just get back into a routine with things. And Um, yeah. My biggest like priority right now, I think, for me is I need to get in some open water swimming practice
Yeah, for
in the
sure you do.
next like 27 days.
Yes. Yes, that's
That's
critical.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a
So
wetsuit?
no, no, no. I'm not gonna buy one. I like if I end up loving this, I'll buy one. If I like and if I do the try and I'm like, this is sick, I actually want to take it pretty seriously, I'll do. But I think for my mental bandwidth more than anything, I have to go into this relaxed as hell. Safely. Like I need to be prepped,
Yes.
but
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm not, I'm gonna go through the transitions of it like smoothly. But to me, it's like this is practice for me understanding what transitions are. Like I don't if it takes a long time, for real, I'm gonna make the cutoff, which I'm hoping I don't have a problem doing. But like that
I
is
no,
literally my mindset with that. I'm really not taking it seriously. I am focused on TCM more so.
sweet. Let's touch on this and then I want to go to a different topic first before we dive deeper into training. But do you still feel like brick training would be important to you in July? Okay. Just to like
Yeah.
build resiliency and prep your body.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it'd be more important for me to get it. Like, I think I should try to get one long bike ride in. Like, I'd
Mhm.
love to do a 50 on like a Sunday, just at
For
some
sure.
point. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that'd be like mainly because I want to sit on my bike. I've been trying to like commute a little bit to work too, literally just to get my butt used to sitting on the bike again.
Yeah.
That type
And
of thing.
do you have a road bike then?
It's a hybrid felt. Yeah.
Okay.
Vitamin
Does it
ride.
have
I just got it tuned up.
drop bars
It's
or
got the
flat
two
bars?
little, no, it has drop bars,
Cool.
but it
Have
doesn't
you
have like the things that I can do this on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like the
Are
forearm
you
things.
gonna are you gonna be down in the drops for a lot of the race?
I don't know. It's a good question. Like I said, I
Okay.
think about that.
It's most aero,
Yeah.
right? It's more aero than being up on the hoods, of course.
Yeah. So I should
And
practice that then.
I think I would practice it as an option for you because that's going to adjust your positioning on the bike. There's also this other way, which I do without aero bars, where you have your hoods, right? And then you essentially put your forearms on the hoods,
Okay.
right? And wrap your hands over the brakes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
And then
Yeah.
you're tucked. You
Okay.
can see, yeah, you can look up some videos, but that's another aero position. But that, again, like you just need to be in that position a little bit to get
Right. Right. Right.
comfortable.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
and again, like I think for long rides, having options for your hand positioning actually helps
Yeah.
a bit. Okay. Long
Yeah.
ride on Sunday. That makes a ton of
Yeah.
sense. And then how many times a week would you like to swim?
So I feel like, I mean, my mind says twice, but honestly, dude, if I get once in a week, I'd be pretty. I feel like that'd be enough, especially if it's open water. Do you think I should do more?
Well, I was thinking if you did like a one pool day as like a recovery
Okay.
tool,
Yeah.
and just like some mechanical work in the water, and then
Yep.
one, open grade.
Cool. Let's do
Could
that
you
then.
could you do that on Sunday with this long ride? Like have, or do you think that would
I
be
can
too much?
definitely, I can definitely swim on Sunday. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Because then that would be so easy to just program that in. Is like, yeah, you have an open up water swim day, hit that in the morning, and then hit a couple hours on the bike.
Later. Okay.
Yeah. And then maybe like a Friday, do like a brick between cycling and running.
Yeah, that could work nicely. I could do a
And
brick Friday afternoon.
okay, and then swimming at another time that week, and then mostly Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
So
It might actually work well. I don't know if this would make sense. You tell me. If I did like schedule wise, swimming would work the best on Sunday, Monday, or Friday. So if we're doing Sunday, like in the mornings to get to a pool or going to a lake,
Mhm.
like we could do a Friday morning swim, like the mechanical pool stuff, drills and
Mhm.
whatnot, and then I could do like a brick on Friday afternoon. So I'm trying to say, unless you think that's too much, but I mean,
Bro,
if we keep it all
that'd be
kind of
great.
easy, yeah, maybe we do
Yeah.
that, and then yeah, long Saturday or something, starting to build that up, I guess,
Yeah, that
and
would actually be
then
great. Yeah, and then, like, an easy Saturday run, maybe, and then no running Sunday, just cycling
yeah,
and then maybe, like, one somewhat chill speed day
yeah,
on
yeah,
Tuesday, and then
yep,
easy runs everywhere else
yep.
in addition to your
Lift,
lift.
lift Monday, Thursday. I would like to for sure do doubles on Wednesday once you feel like I'm ready to do that again.
Okay.
Uh, feel like in July, maybe it'd be good to do at least one double run day still, just because I know you're going to make me do a bunch after July. So it'd be nice to like start to kind of wrap my head around that. So like on Wednesday, I could do my morning trail run too
Yeah,
for the
that'd be
first one
great.
and then do um, another run later that day.
Awesome.
Yeah, keeping the lifting Monday, Thursday works well. It works super well. So I'll keep doing that. And then I'm going to go back to Twin Cities Track Club starting tomorrow night too for Monday.
Okay, and
Monday
that's,
night
like,
runs.
Monday night? Okay. Are
Yeah. And
you,
then,
um are you able to get strides in, like, Monday evening?
yeah, I got to get better at strides. I'll get them in when you put them on. I got to I was
Um,
the last like month and a half, dude, I
it's
was
hard.
definitely more
Yeah, it's hard.
lazy, not lazy. That's not the
Yeah.
right word, but I was definitely cutting some corners. I'm gonna, I
And
am
that's
going, I'm
understandable.
ready. I'm ready to get like, I
Yeah.
am hungry and ready to get
Yeah.
into training again. So, but yeah, I'll do, if you, yeah, put them on, I'll do them because I do need to get better about that. Um, and then yeah, Tuesday, I now do not work between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And sometimes that's 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. It depends on the week. But so I've got a 6 hour gap. I blocked it off. So that's going to be, yeah, speed work.
Incredible.
I might fit in an app on that day too. That's my tentative goal, but we'll see how life goes.
You might fit
S-
what?
A nap.
Oh, that would be
It's my goal.
incredible.
That's another thing I want to start trying to add more in with my new schedule and training and whatnot. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
I feel
I like
really
how that
good.
sounds.
I feel so good about this for all of July, right, until the
Yeah.
triathlon, and we could just kinda follow this rotation. Is your physical body feeling pretty good for the most part after grandma's?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got into a sauna on Sunday last week, and someone was putting Tyler, if he happens to be listening to this, I highly doubt he is, was putting a lot of water onto the rocks, and I burnt my throat in the sauna last
Wait,
Sunday. So I
what?
was like driving home. Yeah, like you ever get like canker sores, right? Or you know that
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
like
yeah.
like it felt like a canker sore. And I've had that. I've done things like that before randomly. But yeah, so I burnt my throat. It was just one spot. And it was because I think I was like huffing this hot steam in. I should have left. It was stupid. It was way
How
too
hot
hot.
do
Whatever. He got
do you know how
freaking
hot it
hot, but
got?
no one was leaving. I don't know how hot, but I think what had happened is I'm tall. So and
Ah.
like I was literally like at the top, you know, of this sauna because it was a portable one. I don't know. Because Kaylee didn't. She didn't. So maybe I'm just a wimp. I don't know. But yeah, so my throat got burnt. All of last week it was burnt and hurt. But it wasn't like a sore throat. It was literally like just one spot. And like when you have throat things, the way the nerves are, my traps and neck and shoulder, it's all like inflamed a little bit. It's weird. So like, yeah, I was like, I wasn't sick, but I was like, just like warm here
Yes.
because of
Yep.
like my esophagus. So be careful with saunas, people. But other than that, I physically I feel good and fine, and I'm starting. Keely and I decided that it was time for me to finally commit and actually do acupuncture with her on a regular basis. So I have
Whoa.
them, which why I haven't done that yet. It's
Yeah.
just
Well,
one of those, one of those things, I guess, that is like people, I'm sure, like, why don't you get acupuncture from her more?
yeah,
So
that
we
is
actually
interesting.
we put it on, we scheduled them out. We're going to do it. So I'm doing once a week with her. Um, and we might even try to do a couple times, but because I've been having like chronic trap tightness too for like the past 8 weeks. As soon as the wedding was done, though, it felt better. So I think it's very stress related.
Yeah, that might be
But so
something to
she's going to help
clock.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely clock that because I think we all carry stress differently in our bodies, but I think we consistently carry it in certain locations. It's just a place that you carry it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
My
hopefully.
neck and my right hip flexor when I'm stressed,
Interesting.
both.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
My psoas on both sides gets tight, but like it always shows up on that right side, which is why I always like, I go back and get scared of my, like on my quad again. Cause it always
yeah.
feels like, and yeah, it's wild. Stress is crazy. Stress is crazy.
Yeah, it's detrimental. Um,
Yeah. So
okay, cool. Glad you're feeling really good outside of your burnt throat. Um, before we talk about the future, let's talk about grandmas. So tell me about that experience and how you felt in pacing your wife.
yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. Oh man. Yeah. This was like, dude, Duluth this time was like one of the coolest Duluth trips ever. I feel like every year it's continuing to get cooler and cooler and more surreal with just the role that Kailee and I play in the community. And like, it's been cool to see it grow. I'm very grateful for that. And I still haven't sat down, but I think I had like 25 people doing one of the events up there. Yeah,
Whoa!
across like my run coaching athletes, my strength athletes, and class
That's
athletes that have that have worked with me in this past year were up there.
yeah.
So that was sweet. And we
Right.
did like a pep talk the night before, and there's a good group that came out for that, and I got to hold a megaphone and give a pep talk. So that was fun.
Dude, sick.
So yeah, and then we were announcers. Did I tell you that at the end of the race?
Yes.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was
At
sick.
what point in the race?
We got to be the back of the pack announcers. So they have like their main two dudes that have been doing it for like 20 years, something like that. And this year we're the first ones they've ever asked, which I was like, did not realize that. That's sick that they thought about us. And we replaced them for the last 2 hours. So, and got to, welcome everyone in. And I have two athletes that finished in that time too.
Very
So,
cool.
we were like the 6 to 8 hour
Yep.
range. So like yelling them across the line, it was cool. It was very, very special. So hey, someday maybe we'll be with one of the live shows. If we are,
Yeah.
Matt better finally do grandma's.
Yes, I know one of these days.
So, but the race itself was good. I told you I got food poisoning on my honeymoon, right? I'm ready to not be sick anymore, but I got food poisoning on my honeymoon. My stomach was fucked up for probably 2 weeks. Like
What?
Kailee and I, both of our stomachs, it was fucked up for like 2 weeks. We'll leave it at that. And it was still kind of not right for both of us going into that race, but we were like, fine. And like that morning I pooped like 3 times, which before a marathon race, like, yes, you're nervous, but also like for me, I was like,
It's a lot. Yeah.
no, yeah, it was more for me than, and it's one thing to like, get nervous and have like a small bowel movement, but to like actually be pooping, it's anyways.
Yeah.
So at like mile 12, I had to poop again. I've never had to do that during a marathon. So I actually, and it was like, it didn't ruin the race though. So I was so happy about that because I had other runs like in the 10 days prior where I like had to hit the bathroom and then my stomach was fucked up and, GI stuff. So I went to the bathroom and it took 3 different porta stops to finally find an open one. And then there wasn't any toilet paper. And I did realize that too late. So then I had to find another bathroom. So I was like, all right, I'm not fucking
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
not.
spending the next half of this in like
Yeah.
uncomfortableness. So then I had to find another bathroom. Finally did that, whatever. So they got like 6 minutes ahead of me. So I actually, for miles like 12 to 20, I wasn't with them. So yeah. And then by that point, the whole,
What were you
yeah,
doing for 6 minutes, dude?
it was, well, because I had to find a bathroom, and then I went, and then there was no toilet paper. So then I had to leave the bathroom, and then I had to go into a different porta potty. And then, yeah, it was a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it
yeah.
wasn't 6 minutes. Maybe it was 4 or 5. I should
But
look,
still,
but
it's
it was
still
long
pretty.
enough where I didn't catch up to them until it was like mile 20 when I caught back up to them. And we had a group of 5 of us running, and it kind of dismantled by that point, unfortunately. And we ended up going, when I caught her, we pretty much right when I caught her, actually, she was walking through a water station, and she was having shin problems. So I was like, oh shit, did her shin just blow up?
Yeah.
But she was just, you have to ask her about her race, but she was ready to be done. So she ended up running 3:43. And she wanted, her A goal was sub 3:30, and then, still hit a 25-minute PR.
Yeah.
But
There we go.
yeah, I'm excited about, that was only her 3rd actual road marathon, and she hadn't raced one before. So, I think there's a, like any event, the marathon is there's specific aspects of the marathon that the only way truly that you can learn it is by doing it more.
Yep.
Really. Because you can try to run on tired legs and you can train at marathon pace, but I've never ran 20 plus miles in a training run before at marathon pace straight.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like getting to mile 20, 21, 22 and knowing how shitty it is at that point, like that's a mental skill that like, you really have to kind of train, and you can't really do it unless you're doing a marathon. And I also think that like she has the sub 3:30 fitness in her, but like the last month, not to play this card, her training wasn't, we were
It's
a lot
not
of
like
late nights, so I don't know. I
food
think, and
poisoning.
mentally, she was mentally fatigued too. Like, like you need to be like, you need to kind of have all of it to have that like a goal come to fruition.
For sure.
But yeah, so I ran it in with her, and I'm curious because like you said, it wasn't, I'm very proud of myself because of how I was able to run a 3:43 marathon, considering like how fast that would be, like would have been like my first, 4 were all above 4. So like the fact that I could just like go do that, and considering the last like 6 miles were like 9-minute miles. So,
Yes. Totally.
so like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked about that. And I never like, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to restart this. I have to, like, I don't like, I don't like to sound arrogant with things. So, but
Oh, dude, be arrogant, dude. This is your space, dude. This is real. This is what people want to hear.
well, I like, no, when we started running, we were running like 750s, which was too hot if you're going for an 8 flat marathon. That's a whole different conversation. We were running too fast if you're trying to run a certain time. And, miles like 12 to 20, I got to speed up because I was trying to catch up to them. Right.
Yep.
So it was fun. I also didn't feel great though at 20, but it was like fine because we started run walking. So I kind of had this is where I was trying to be careful saying, the excuse to like, okay, cool. I'm here with Kailee. I'm doing this for her, and,
Yep.
I have been thinking though, mentally it was getting hard for me at 20 though. So like, I am like a little like, I didn't get to train that muscle that day, which is a little unfortunate, because again, I got a really good 20-mile long run in myself because we paced that at like 7:40, probably 7:50, whatever it was. That's probably hot. It was probably just right under 8. But anyways, so yeah, I'm rambling, but that's
No, but you still did it, right? And I think that offers value, right? And I think again, the next time you run a marathon, like it's going to be like 3 hours or under.
yeah.
So
That's the
Like,
goal.
yeah. So like you were just on your feet for longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. And actually, it's actually you having to shit during your marathon actually shows that like you were so comfortable running that you still had blood flow going to your digestive system.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. My Strava time was actually 3:37. I do remember seeing that. And
Oh,
our gun time was 3:43. So that's mostly where I got the 6 minutes from. So I did
okay.
lose 6 minutes. So, I mean,
Yeah.
but I
That's
still don't know how that, I don't know, but yeah.
337. Dude, that's not bad. That's really not
No,
bad.
and I feel like, yeah, this is like the arrogant part. It didn't feel that hard, that was the good sign for me of like, okay, I could rip that out off of not like, for me, not doing a ton of structured training. And over the last, like, just the last 2 months really after that half. So I'm pretty stoked about that because I do feel like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, as
I
you
think it's
should be.
there. I think it's there.
And it's any marathon, no matter how slow or fast you're running, is pretty good use of the body.
Right.
And it seems like you've bounced back from it pretty quickly. Like it didn't seem like you really got too beat up from it, which again is a sign that, you had enough fitness going into that, which is again great. It's excellent. How was your fueling for it?
Great. Every 3.5 miles. That was another thing. I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, I was very happy with the fueling. I did, though, for the first time ever, have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the race. So that, but I'm like, I feel like that wasn't fueling, though. I feel like that was just from my stomach still working things out. So
Yeah,
I did
how
every
many
3.5. I
yeah,
was
how many
shooting for like 80 to 90 per hour. So I carried 2 scoops of G1M, which is like 100, which is like 25 grams in each scoop. And I sipped on that the whole time. I did grab Powerade and water from the stations and whatnot too. Got practice with that. And then I alternated between, I was doing like a 25. I had like, man, I was running with like 8 gels. I don't know what the math ends up being. And none of them were the same. I just like grabbed a bunch of gels that we had like left over too. I was very relaxed going into this too. I would never do that. And I would do like all one brand. But so I had a Precision Nutrition, I had some BPN, I had like the E-Fuel gels, I had a Morton in there. I had an SIS, I know, and then I had a Never Second gel. It was like a fucking variety pack of gels that I
Oh,
was
maybe that's
putting
that
down. So maybe that didn't
that
help
didn't
either.
help your stomach
Thinking
issues
back,
probably.
yeah. But
Um,
I know, like in practice a lot of times I usually do that stuff and it's fine. So,
okay. Well, and
but
it sounded like you were already like before the race started kind of having some issues, right, with your stomach. So,
I
yeah.
also drank coffee before this race. I never do that either. So now
Oh,
I'm just like talking through some of this. I'm like,
dude, that could be
yeah, I
it.
definitely did. I did some things, but I was also kind of like, I was like, I want to try. I felt like this was a good race to try some different things too. I was like, I want to try fueling more for this one specifically, just to get that practice. And I was like, I never drank coffee before a race. And I think a little caffeine right now would be kind of fun. So I drank like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you not take any caffeine before you race?
So I'll show you. I normally take the, so I take this.
Is that like a pre-workout?
This stuff is the shit. Love this stuff. Yeah. It's the only thing. And I know the rep, the owner dude of Nutridyne. It's in Maple Plain. I've been to some conferences and we sell this stuff. So I know him. So I've told them multiple times, I'm like, dog, I can't be promoting your brand and a drink like this if there isn't carbs in it. Like I need carbs for my athletes. There's no carbs in this. So I only take it before I lift usually. And then I take it before, usually I'll do it before like long run speed workouts and then
Okay.
the race.
So could
But
you
there's no
could you re
carbs.
Could you read off what's in it? What?
There's a lot of stuff in here, but the biggest
Okay.
things, I mean,
What are some of the
it's
big
mainly
hitters?
branched chain amino acids, caffeine, there's creatine, and then
Okay. How much?
L-theanine, I think, is the thing that really, really gets me
How
just,
much caffeine is in there?
there is, I want to say 50 milligrams. Let me see. 50 milligrams from coffee
Okay.
bean extract.
And are you taking one scoop of that then, like one serving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm open to doing other things though. That was partly because I did try not doing that for this race too. So, and I take caffeinated gels during the race. And then, but I have been playing around with this now
mhm.
before runs because this has carbs in it and it has caffeine
Yeah.
as
How much
well
caffeine?
and
Oh,
nootropics.
150 milligrams I see up front. Yeah.
Yeah. I just,
Right.
I drink a lot of coffee. So like in daily life, I don't like drinking that much caffeine. So
Wait. So you're telling me that you drink coffee in your daily life, but then before you work out and before you race, you don't drink.
no, correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, like, I will like on a daily base before races specifically, I do this instead. And it's partly because I don't want to poop a ton from coffee. Partly. Like I want to not,
But if the poop is inside of you, don't you want the poop out of you?
well, I do poop,
Dude,
but
I'm just saying. You trying
that's
to
going to
carry
be
the
the
poop for
name.
3 hours?
That's going to be the name of this call or the name of this podcast. If the poop is inside of you, don't you want the poop outside of you? Okay. I feel like I'm not making a ton of logic
Okay,
here.
this is my thought. Okay, this is I think what you should adjust maybe is I would probably if you drink coffee in your daily life, don't change that before races. Like I would maybe reduce your coffee intake like the week week and a half leading into a race, like your goal race, and then on race day, right? Hopefully, you'll have like a better response to caffeine, right? I think that's the goal. But if you can find some type of a routine where, like, I think a lot of athletes, including myself, like on race day, like, yeah, you wake up, you grab a banana, you grab your, breakfast, and then you have coffee, and then you clear yourself out. And then you're good, right? And almost like your body almost anticipates that association with coffee as like, okay, it's time to go, right? And if you're able to like, what is that like Pavlovian psychology, right? Is like your
Mhm.
body's gonna like predict the response
Right, right, right,
if you
right,
associate it. And I
right.
do think, yeah, probably not changing the product makes sense, but I could see the benefit of using that for your doubles, right? And 50 milligrams is not that much. So if you're doing like for
Oh, you're talking
caffeine,
about this? Talking about this one?
yeah.
Not this one.
So
Yeah.
I would, anytime that you're racing, I would take a lot more than 50 milligrams. Like I would probably take 150 to 200 milligrams.
Okay.
Find some
I
way to,
I do feel like I do that through gels, but
and I would do whatever you take in gels in addition to that.
okay.
Yeah.
Definitely don't do that much. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, that should equate to like 2 coffees, right? Before you start. And that again and I'm saying that knowing that everybody's very different in their tolerance for caffeine. And that should require some experimentation
Okay.
before, committing to that. But I know caffeine, as you know, is one of the most effective performance enhancing supplements that we have access to legally, without it being a banned substance. So take advantage of it, and yeah, I think it has a lot of benefits, especially for the early areas. And I think one of the biggest benefits is your rating of perceived exertion, right? People report that the effort is just a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
same pace. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to I actually like part of the reason like for grandmas, I had a scoop of this and then a scoop of the other G1M Sport. So I was sipping on this, but I think, no. I took a scoop of this before the race too, actually, with water.
Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Now I think about
That's-
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
In
I would
addition to the
like
coffee.
to, yeah, in addition to a little bit of coffee. Yeah. So I actually did have a decent amount of caffeine going in, but again, that's not what I normally do though. So everything you just told me is good to hear.
Yeah, and I
Because
guess yeah, and I guess I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Like I think whatever you want to do on race day that you feel like would work best for you, just start doing that now. So again, if
yeah,
you like these
yeah,
products
okay,
and you're vibing with these products and you don't want to drink coffee, then like just stick to these products on workout days and long run days so that you have 2 to 3 trial runs a week, to practice everything. So your diet. But then again, I think I'd recommend if you could get in 150 to 200 milligrams of caffeine before these efforts. That would be
yeah,
ideal. And then remember that
okay,
it usually takes a little bit of time for the caffeine into your bloodstream, So I think I've always heard between like 25 to 30 minutes sometimes. So for it to fully, you know, find its way. So kind of keep that in mind too. Like I usually like it like 45 minutes before.
okay. I'll definitely do that. Yeah,
Well,
I feel like
sweet.
part of it's because I've been the past like year and a half since I've run a marathon since CIM. I've been I've been I just haven't been as structured with that type of stuff. So I will do a better job of that because I've definitely been playing around with, tons of different gels and trying out different things and trying different fueling on long runs and all kinds of stuff that it'll be nice to, I think I've got locked down especially after what you just said, what I want to do before
Yeah.
long
Yeah. And
runs and
same,
stuff. So
and same for nutrition. Like I think July probably doesn't matter that much. So whatever floats your boat nutritionally. Um, if you want to really practice some high carb stuff, the bike ride would actually be a really good space to do that. If you're going to go for a long, 3-hour bike on
mhm.
Sunday, push 150 grams of carbs an hour. Like
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because again, you shouldn't experience the same GI distress if you were to push that limit running.
Okay.
'Cause you're not jostling your gut around. Um, that's why these cyclists are able to push insane numbers.
So much. Yeah.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that
And
actually might be, yeah,
I think it
way
helps
to,
with recovery too.
absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. Helps a ton with the recovery. And actually, like, that's a good point with like Sunday. That's going to be a big volume day for you. So just having some extra calories up, extra carbs, I think would only benefit. Yeah, cool. And then, so if like post triathlon, first week in August, that'd put you at what, like 9 weeks to CIM or excuse me, TCM?
Yeah. Think so. Something like that. We are also going to the Superior Hiking Trail the weekend after Chisago, so I can run a shit ton up there.
Cool. Okay.
So
Awesome.
that'll be a nice transition.
Yeah.
And then all the weeks after that, man, we're gonna do. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gonna have input, but I'm very much gonna like. I don't have any, crazy trips that I have to do this mono running or this and that, So
Okay. Cool. That's good. I'm trying to think, what do you think? Because I still think we need to get in some type of longer run in during the week. And when I'm looking at kind of the plan that we constructed for July, there's not space really for it. So I wonder where you think we can add that.
is it? Yeah, because Saturday probably isn't a great idea to
Yeah,
do a
because
long run.
I think I would be worried about giving you 3 days in a row of pretty intense stuff. Because if you're doing a swim in the morning on Friday and a brick workout, where I'd probably give you a harder bike effort and then a run off the bike and then a long bike ride on Sunday and an open water swim. Um, I'm debating maybe Wednesday. Like, could you go like long on the trails on Wednesday?
Potentially, like after the group. What about, like, what if we did it Tuesday?
I would feel great about that if you are open to doing a run workout off the bike on Friday.
Yeah, I'm open to that for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we do that? And then we can just
We
kind
could
of
also do, I guess, so 2 questions. One, the long run itself, do you want any, like, is that just simply a time on feet thing? Or what's your idea with that or
uh,
preference?
yeah, I think we're doing a lot, right, in July, just with the types of, like, you pretty much have 4 different things going on, right, with lifting, running,
So fun.
swimming, right? Sick. It's
Yeah,
awesome,
so
and I
fun.
actually think that that's gonna help your marathon build. I think you're just gonna be a better athlete at the end of July than you are now. So I think it could be a really good thing. I'm just hesitant to add too much intensity in the run leg,
Mm,
knowing that because you're not often in the water or often on your bike, that will be probably more intense than it would be if you do it regularly, right? If that makes sense. So I think I'm a big believer of a steady long run where it's not easy, it's not just time on the feet, but you're like moving a little bit.
yep,
So
yep,
so I think that makes sense on Tuesdays
yep.
and
And then, like,
probably
so for the speed portion, then on Fridays, what would you envision for that? Like, is that
yeah,
like
I
a
could see
big speed workout or is it kind of
no. No. If you can commit to me that you'll do strides on Monday,
I'll do
we'll
strides on Monday.
we'll
I'll
we'll
do them tomorrow.
do
I'll
like
start
a
tomorrow.
pretty manageable run off the bike on Friday. What I'd be thinking is something like if you're able to get in like 30 to 45 minutes steady on the bike, maybe up to an hour on the bike, then do a transition, set up your transition, right? And try to like practice that. 'Cause that's a good opportunity to practice it. And then we could do like a 2 mile tempo run and then a couple of like 60-minute on and off
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
And then
I
kind of
think
just
that'd be
like
great.
rotate between like a fartlek effort and then like a tempo effort for a couple of weeks. Because I think that's going to exercise that muscle enough that come the marathon block, you'll be able to do a little bit more specific, more intense runs. Because that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I just want to prime your pump to like be able to handle that. Um, and then of course that's actually going to be even better. I think you're going to feel more competent in your triathlon by doing like hard efforts off the bike. I think you're going to get pretty comfortable. So I like that. Yeah. So again, the adjustments were long run Tuesdays and then a run workout off the bike on Friday afternoon. Does that
Yeah.
sound good?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's yeah. I say we try it. I think I like that better than trying to do long on Wednesday morning, just because
Yes.
I'm a little bit in coach mode
Heard.
that
Okay.
morning, so it's a
And
little
that
harder
makes a
to do
ton of
that
sense.
stuff.
Yeah, let's definitely do that then. And then again, this is going to be your July. So, you know, I'll just have it all programmed.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent.
The other thing that we need to be thinking of and aware of, it's gonna be 100 degrees tomorrow in Minnesota, and we are very much
Woo!
hitting our hot as nuts stretch. So all of this in
Yes.
July is going to be
Yes.
probably very hot training. So just a heads up on
Very,
that. I
very.
will, speed might be very effort based for this month.
Totally. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But I'll try, if you put
'Cause-
splits, I'll try to hit them. But there's, I mean, and
No.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Uh-huh.
I should do pretty much everything I can outside for javelina. So, and
Yeah.
get as used to heat as possible. So I plan on doing everything outside, even like when it's hot as nuts.
Yeah. I think for definitely July, I don't see a reason why you need to do treadmill stuff. I could see, we kind of talked about doing uphill treadmill workouts last
Yeah,
time we
doing
spoke.
those again.
Yeah, but I don't think that can really play in right now, like what we've constructed.
Sad. Yeah.
I think that's just that just doesn't quite work. I think thinking about the marathon build, I could see like the first 2 weeks of that build, we can incorporate that. And that could actually be a really good tool. Uh, and I could see on some of those workout days doing treadmill workouts if it
Okay.
is like 100 degrees. Like,
Cool.
yeah, there's definitely a point where it just you're yeah, just struggling outside to just struggle. And I think there's a time and a place for that. But I think you're already going to have like a shorter marathon specific build. So you might want to keep those quality days quality if you have to go inside. Right. So we can talk more about that after July. Um, what are you feeling like motivated goal wise for Twin Cities? What's exciting you?
Uh, I would really like to cross the finish line and have it read 6 pace. I would really like to do that. I think that best case scenario, running sub 3 would be really dope, but I'm also not ignorant to the fact that like everything's going to have to go perfectly for that to happen. But I think going for it makes the most sense. I am, yeah, for sure. But like, I do really want to, I think mentally and confidence booster wise and whatnot, I think at least having it read 6, at least 6:59 would be really cool. Even though it doesn't really matter because it's not like any different than 7:00. But
Yeah, totally.
I think it'd be really cool to do that. And I want to just fucking crush Summit. I want to crush Summit. I want to crush the last 10K. And I just want to be fit as hell, dude. Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So I wasn't gonna do a marathon this year either, but when the fucking Mesa situation happened, well, I guess that was this year, but I was gonna be done after Mesa. Then that happened. And then, getting gear when I ran 125, it's like, fuck, okay. Yeah, I gotta do this. Like it's there.
And that shows
I gotta do this now.
3, right?
Yeah,
That for sure
right.
shows you can break 3, right? So
Right. Yeah. And I still think the marathon's my best event. I truly do. I think I just mentally, I'm really good at running that race for me. And so I am like, I just need to put the good training block in. And yeah. And I know it's going to be difficult with, the fact that I have Javelina 4 weeks after and the try, but I'm trying very hard to not. Those aren't A goals. TCM's the A goal. They're fun. They're just fun other goals that I'm like doing for kind of completion that I had signed up for. That's it. So I'm like my mental, I'm gonna be good not being super hung up on those.
totally. Yeah. And again, I think what we're seeing in the ultra world is if you're in really good marathon shape, that's like the ideal place to be for a lot of these ultras.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you're going to have a huge engine, I think, by the end of the training block.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Are you wanting to do like a half marathon in September?
I don't think I need to unless you want me to. But
No,
I'm fine doing just a marathon build. I don't think I need it. And unless like you want me to do that, but I think it'd be more beneficial to get some like good long workouts in. And
yeah, we'll see how the build starts. Like another alternative that I like doing is like a 10-mile before it's out, right? So I think that could be kind of fun as well if things are going well. You just kind of test the body over 10 miles. Your body should be able to respond pretty quick to that. And then we can build that in very intentionally into the marathon build, um, and not have to do it around a race that already exists,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice. We have a lot more freedom then. Um, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Um, what else is coming up for you as we think about July, if anything?
I'm just ready to fucking train.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just, yeah, I'm ready to
Yeah.
give. I feel like in like March and March, I feel like was a really good month. And I'm ready to get back to that feeling,
Yes. Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah,
So,
so like volume this month, like what do you think would be realistic taking? Yeah, yeah, that you'd be pretty stoked on.
man, I feel across everything that I'm doing,
Just running
like
volume.
just running volume. Oh man, if I could start getting like for sure touching 50s again, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Is that realistic with everything else going on?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, if
Like
we're keeping the long run
even
pretty
getting to
steady,
60. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because we're keeping the long run steady, easy running. This and then like the swim and bike for both Friday and Sunday should be like zone 2. If you're struggling, it could be zone 3, but it should be harder than that. And then it's just your hard run Friday off the bike that you should be kind of threshold effort. So yeah, like the intensity is not going to be insane. So yeah, I think we could do a lot of volume, you know. Yeah, 50. If we're able to do 50 running volume and then knowing that everything else could translate to another 10 to 15 miles of running volume, you know. So if you're putting
Yeah.
in
That'd be,
like a big long ride on Sundays.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, dude, I'm stoked on
Yeah.
this. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a good
And then
time.
are you still doing like your Monday lift is kind of like more strength day? Thursday is like more plyometric power, explosive.
No, I kind of switched those actually. Now that
Okay,
you're
those
asking
reverse.
that. Yeah. But so the way we've been doing it and I kind of been digging it. I think I'm gonna ask for more mobility on Monday though. But we were doing like every other Monday was upper and lower athletic stuff. Good way
Okay.
to think about it. Like calisthenics, power and stuff like that. And then Thursday was more of a full body heavy. So I was only actually hitting legs of 1.5 times a week on average. But I
Okay.
was kind of digging it. So I
Yeah.
don't know. But I'm also open to other things. I just see my trainer on Mondays. So that's when we do more like creative, athletic kind of like
Yeah.
funky moves. Right. So,
Do you
but,
feel like that negatively impacts a Tuesday workout, lifting on Monday?
um, for like July, for the way the schedule's set up for July, no. I might need to switch stuff around come August, but I don't like we could even consider the way that I lift with him on Monday. And part of the reason I liked that switch too was that I don't really get sore in the same way I do when I lift on Thursday. Monday usually makes me feel pretty like poppy and snappy and good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit more athletic and
Yeah.
neuromuscular,
It's
maybe.
more, yeah. So to answer your question, no, I don't think the only thing is that lifting just drains you a little more sometimes, right? So, in addition to like running so the day before versus just
Mhm.
running, right? It
Yeah.
gives you energy and it keeps you strong, all that good stuff. So I'm thinking about that maybe, but like I really I don't like the hard days hard thing. I understand why we do it. I think you're a fan of that too. Yeah. Dude, the lifts are always shit every time for me. Like and I'm like, I feel like I'm
Hey,
wasting.
what's the priority, Jacob? Dude,
No, I no, but okay. So here's the thing, though. I totally understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying.
yeah.
However, from from a safety perspective and a
Yeah.
actual building strength perspective and things like that, I have found that, and like mentally, like it's so much easier for me to run in that state, easy miles, than to lift. And I just feel like I don't like again. I don't know if I kind of go
Well,
against the grain with that. I don't know if I buy it.
yeah, and I think that 100% makes sense. I think, yeah, I think at the level that you're at, I think every professional runner I know does the hard days hard, and they always start with a run. And that, and I think they do that, I would imagine, for a reason. Um, but I think if you are feeling good in this structure and that it works with your life, I think that matters more than the whatever percentage that would be so minuscule that would really be impacted one way or the other, right? Like, I think it's like pretty small fish in the grand scheme of things. I think if you get it in period and if your body's able to have enough rest between hard efforts so you're able to adapt for both stimuli, then that's
Yeah.
what matters most, right?
Right.
Over anything else. So, and and I'm a believer, of like, if you get it in within 24 hours, both the lift and a hard workout, that's the most important thing too. Cause then you're reducing like the delayed onset muscle soreness, being able to impact either your lift or your workout, your running workout. So,
Yeah.
and I think you typically do that, right? Cause you're probably, or at least you're probably pretty close to it.
It's pretty
'Cause you
close
probably,
to it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, cause I think, yeah, probably like the worst is like a 36-hour split, you know, then I think you're just going to drag fatigue into the week. So if you're somewhere close to the 24-hour range, I think that's good.
Yeah. And I don't like to use, it's hard. I don't like to use definitives either, in the sense of like, yeah, like you were saying, there's one right way, right? It's like whatever you can make into your schedule work. Cause like, Thursdays, I'm usually lifting in the afternoon. It's like that day. And when we do speed on Thursdays, it's fine, and the way that traditionally this has worked on Tuesdays, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of my life is pretty hectic. So I'm also very drained from that speed workout on Tuesday. So like lifting on that day is like impossible. So there's a lot of
Yes,
factors to keep in, mind too.
totally. Yeah. And
So
again, you figure out what works for you. Um, and again, your schedule. And yeah, in a perfect world, it might be different, but in your world,
yeah,
it just has to work the way that you make it work. And it's going to work because you're choosing to make it work.
fair. And also keep this in mind, as someone who makes money and a living off of
Yes.
preaching strength training for runners.
Yes.
There is an
Yes.
identity piece to it for me, for sure, that I would argue sometimes goes too far. I actually talked to my trainer about this because we were talking about my neck and stuff, and we were looking at my Strava, and he's like, dude, you haven't taken a week off of lifting in like 4 months. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And he's like, like pretty much all textbooks and trainers will tell you that every 6 to 8 weeks, you should take a completely off week of lifting. And I like,
Oh,
for runners, the
yes.
way, not to dog on all of us runners, the way our lives are with races, with commitments, whatnot, that's just like built in. You like never really have to worry about building that in. And the way you structure strength programming is just a little different because running is usually the priority. So, but all that to be said, I think that sometimes that I prioritize, I struggle to put running like or one thing at the top, and I struggle. Clearly, look at this month with like
Yeah.
wanting to
Yeah.
do 5 different things at a
Totally.
time. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Well,
hear
and
you. So
I think it's good because, again, I mean, what's so great about your relation, good commitment to gym work, because I think that has obviously like been beneficial for you in your development as an athlete, your durability as an athlete, and your ability to kind of like play with a variety of different events,
Mhm.
because again, you're just capable of adapting your body accordingly. Um, and I'm sure your trainer knows this, but I think, and you obviously know this, is like marathon training is very hard, right? I would argue, I think it's the most intense training, that runner can do. Like, I think ultra running is really difficult in a different way. Shorter track stuff is really difficult in a different way. But I think the intersection of volume and intensity is at a spearhead for marathon training, right? And I think you might have to make some sacrifices in the gym, of course, if you're wanting to, again, achieve what you want to achieve, right? Running wise.
Agree. I do
So,
agree. Even though there's a part of me that wants to prove I can do it while
and you
doing what I'm
can,
doing.
and I'm sure, and
But
people do all the time. There's just probably little benefit of keeping your progression the same in the gym for 9 weeks, as opposed to maintaining it and then giving the focus to running, knowing that like your body can only adapt, based on what you're giving it. And then you're training in the gym, right? It's adapting in that way. And then you're training and running, which is oftentimes what you're doing is completely opposite, right? It's like strength, power, and aerobic endurance, right? And it's just like you're kind of tweaking it out, I think, sometimes when you're like 100% in for both. And that's
well, and
like
then you end up not being 100% in for either, though, right? And that's
yeah,
the life
totally.
metaphor, right? For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And this is like me coming, like I have nowhere near the same strength, knowledge, or experience that you have. But I think that's been my own experience and then my observations working with people who are trying to do both. Like, I think there's always seasons, right? You have seasons for all different things. You have a season where you should primarily focus on strength, power, whatever, and then another season for something else.
Yeah.
So,
And ironically, working with a personal trainer, it's actually crazy that the amount I have learned and how much like more intentional we are and less we do. It's a similar thing with like
mhm,
running kind of like too hard most of the time. And then you kind of make that switch. We've been doing
yes.
that in the gym. Dude, it's crazy. Like there's so many, it's very rare I do more than 2 sets of something with him. Like a
Yeah.
ton of time we do 2 sets. So I think that's perfect. Okay. So like I'm locked in. So I will do what you think. So like what I mean by that is on Mondays, I still, because of my schedule, need to have that be the day with Zach. But if you're like, I think on Mondays it'd be beneficial for you to do like mobility, hips, or like something specific. I'll do that with him. So, and you don't have to give me an answer right now either. But and then
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
like Thursday, if you want, yeah, if you're like, I want you to do things differently or whatever, I'll do it. So I'm locked in. So
Yeah. Let's keep things exactly the same for July. Whatever you've been doing, whatever the plan is, let's keep it then. And then once August rolls around, we'll have these and then we'll construct what weeks might look like. And I think the days are fine, but the lifts might need to be adjusted a bit. The intensity might need to be adjusted a little
okay.
bit. Um,
Yeah.
but again,
We
I
could
don't,
for
I,
sure make that Monday like mobility and core too. And like not even have it be for like 8 weeks. I could be like, Zach, listen, for the next 8 weeks for this TCM build, we're gonna lift 1 day a week on Thursdays. And on Monday we can do like bands and core or mobility
well, and
stuff.
I
Cause
even
he's got
think
a
like,
ton of real good mobility stuff that I love that we haven't been doing
and,
as
and
much.
I think even if you did like plyo work, I don't think that
Yeah.
that would be that disastrous. I think it's just like the power and strength stuff. Where if you and you, I mean, you're a pretty good gym athlete, so you're putting up good weight, right? And again, the concern is that you just be going into your Tuesday workout fatigue, and then that might just take away some of that workout, and then kind of reduce, maybe the positive. But again, I think that's a conversation to have in August. I think for July, I feel super good about our plan. I'm stoked on it. I think you're going to get really fit off of all of this volume and the variety of the volume. So it's gonna be sick, dude. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Cool.
This is a
Uh,
good conversation. I feel like we
yeah.
got to
Anything else
get into
that
some
you,
fun topics that people are gonna like to listen to as well.
yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. Of course. Yeah. Let me know whatever comes up. Any issues you're having, any adjustments that you feel like we need to make. Um, but yeah, feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, me too. And as always, I really appreciate you. I've
Yeah.
been reflecting a lot on our relationship and coaching and everything. And I feel like working with you has for sure made me a better coach in a lot of ways. One of the things I appreciate is I feel like I understand that I feel like I understand boundaries better as a coach. And I get
Mm.
a lot of that from you. So I'm trying to say. And I'm not saying like because you set really good boundaries with me. I just like the way you coach, I really like how intentional you are with me while also like making sure both of us have space. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but I
Mm.
think it's really good. I think it's really good. I think you do
Yeah.
a phenomenal
Good.
job. So,
I
it's yeah,
appreciate that. I think my ultimate goal is that I'm we like because you do this all the time. I think in our relationship, is I think you can kind of predict what I would say, right? And you make
right,
the
right.
necessary adjustments. Like we've
That's it.
worked together long enough where it's like if I'm not able to get back to you, right, because I'm working or whatever it is, and you need to adjust a workout or you need to like make a decision about like not running or whatever, like you're able to make that decision yourself, knowing one, probably what I would say,
Mhm.
and two, that I would support whatever decision it is that you made. Right.
Yeah,
And I think that that is a like a good place, I think, to be in a coach athlete, like a yeah, relationship. That again,
yeah,
like we've worked together that long that that's yeah, you can kind of make those calls.
yeah. And I think about like in high school or when I was coaching high schoolers, the way I showed up to that setting was I did not, bluntly, I didn't care if people were like, you know what, you're not my favorite coach. And I'm not gonna like work with you because enough people came and like talked to me and worked with me, right? And I think about like when I was because of my style, right? And when I think about when I was like when I was a high schooler working with our cross country coach, right? And they get paid, but it's not making a living necessarily like you and I
Yeah.
are trying to do, right?
Yeah.
And I try to think about like being a coach like that. And what I mean by that is like with my athletes, sometimes I get so worried about losing an athlete, almost like a financial side of things that
Mhm.
I end up
Mhm.
like hand holding too much. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
To the point where I'm answering texts and I'm doing things that I'm like, my high school coach, and I get that I'm not a high school coach. I get that, whatever. But I'm a high school coach, you would never do that. Like, you would never be texting them, and some of the questions that I answer that I maybe just shouldn't answer all the
Yeah.
time. And like kind of
Yeah.
so and that's another thing I got from you where I'm like, I get texts sometimes and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna answer this. I'm gonna just wait and let them figure it out about a workout or something, and
Totally.
I'm just not,
People are
and then
resourceful.
they'll
Yeah, they can figure it out. They can look online if there's like a fueling question, whatever it might be, and experiment with it themselves and then share with you whatever the results might be. I think that could be really impactful. We talk about like it's social work. Like I think an issue with like therapists, oftentimes who are in private practice, is similarly, they sometimes gravitate towards being a friend and over validating their clients because again they don't want to lose that client because it's a direct source of their income, right? So there's this complicated process, but then you have to consistently ask yourself, is how I'm showing up therapeutically beneficial, right? Like in that context, that's what I think about, like with my clients, with my work, is like, is it therapeutically beneficial? And sometimes that requires challenging that individual, setting those appropriate boundaries and kind of ruffling some feathers, which could potentially impact that relationship. But I think you have to really think about that person's growth, right? And their evolution, and that you're just a piece of that, in this chapter of their life. And if they choose to not work with you because of that, you probably wouldn't want to work with them anyway. Like if they don't have that type of resilience to work with you being your authentic self and being the coach that you want to be, like somebody else, will, right? And yeah, I've been fired as a coach because I'm not as responsible as people want me to be, you know, like I do the best I can. I have a full-time job, but again, my hope is that I'm giving people enough of the information that they can make the decisions when I'm not available, right? And that does take time, but yeah,
Dude,
but it's
it's
tough.
that was one of the when we first started working together, that was like the one thing I was like, I guess, irritated about
Mhm.
with your coaching.
Yeah.
And I irritated is a good way to say it. I
Yeah.
love it now.
Yeah.
I love it now. And it has changed how I coach people because you have taught
Very
me
cool.
like that you don't need to be needing to like text your athletes every single second of the day and always be,
Nice.
and it's, if you don't know, like if my athletes don't know what they need to do after they run a road marathon the week after because I didn't put training in and they've been working with me for 3 years, like, okay, we have a problem because it's
Totally. Yeah.
not any different than it was the last 7 times. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
And it's
you
kind of
helped
like
me learn that. It's like, it's okay to not do that stuff.
totally. And ideally, you're just one of many support people, right? You're just like one piece of the puzzle. So then if you're it's kind of like if your partner offers everything for you, you're going to demand everything from that, right? Is it your lover, your best friend, your like massage therapist, like whatever it is,
Right.
like you're not gonna seek those things outside of that individual. But if your coach is like, okay, they are my where I get my training, the 90%, 95% of my training, and then they answer the questions to specific, racing things, and they give me strategies for that. But then, okay, but then that's creating all these different curiosities. So then I look for those answers in a variety of other different places. And then when I'm with that coach again, then I can bring in what other people are saying, and then I can do a very productive conversation from there, right? But that doesn't have to happen every day, and it shouldn't happen every day. Like, ideally. Yeah, ideally. And again, some people just, I think, sometimes need that, and that just is what it is. But again, it's like, maybe that's either not the right athlete for you or you're not setting the appropriate boundaries, as a coach. So I'm glad that you're finding your path that feels good for you and how you feel like you want to show up for the athletes that you coach. Because I think there's this growth period trying to figure out like how to be the best coach that you can for as many people that you can be, you know? And I guess, yeah, there's the unfortunate reality that just like in life, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to want to work with you as a coach. And that just is what it is, and that's not a personal reflection on their ability to coach. It's just not, the right fit. You know, does that.
Snaps. Snaps.
Massive. Yeah.
Thanks
Well,
for
is it part
giving me so much time today, Doc. I appreciate it.
love it, man. Love it. I'm here for it. Good to see you.
Me
Glad you
too.
made it through the last 8 weeks.
Me too.
Congratulations.
Me too. Me too. Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
really hope you're able to prioritize some sleep because I'm sure your body needs it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. Peace out, brother.
Thanks, Doc.
Yep.
We'll
We'll
talk to you
talk soon.
soon. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
That's a wrap. If you are new here, welcome. We're so glad you get to do this with us. Before you go, what's your We Get to Do This moment for the week? We'd love to hear it. Comment on this episode or email us at wegettodothin@gmail.com.
And if this episode hit for you, share it with a friend and leave us a review on whatever platform you listened on. It genuinely helps. We get to do this.